Barcelona owes 1.958 billion euros. Add the 1.5 billion euro Spotify Camp Nou renovation, and economist Mark Syria estimates combined debt at 3.5 billion. Yet in 2024, they signed Dani Olmo for 55 million euros. In 2025, they brought in Joan García for 25 million. The question is not how Barcelona got into this mess. The question is, why does the system allow them to keep spending when other clubs cannot? To understand this paradox, we need to go back to 2015. Under President Josep Bartomeu, Barcelona spent recklessly. They paid 160 million euros for Philippe Coutinho. They triggered Antoine Griezmann's 120 million euro buyout clause. In 5 years, Barcelona's spending spiraled out of control. Then COVID-19 hit, and Barcelona's revenue collapsed. According to their financial reports, the club lost around 300 million euros in revenue. By the time Joan Laporta took charge in 2021, the wage bill had reached 95% of total revenue. Under La Liga's financial rules, Barcelona simply could not register Lionel Messi's new contract. Their greatest player in history had to leave. For free. That should have been rock bottom. Most clubs would cut expenses and rebuild slowly. Barcelona did the opposite. Instead of spending less, they reinvented how to spend. They chose to sell their future. Literally. According to reporting from The Athletic and Inside World Football, Barcelona sold 25% of their future television rights for approximately 927 million euros up front. They mortgaged 25 years of income to solve a 3-year crisis. According to analysis from Mark Syria, an economist specializing in football finance, this permanently costs Barcelona between 40 and 52 million euros in annual TV revenue. That money is gone. Forever. Now you might wonder, how does the system allow this? The answer is that different football leagues have completely different financial rules. And which rules apply to your club depends entirely on which country you play in. In England, the Premier League uses Profit and Sustainability Rules, or PSR. Think of it as a strict 3-year bank account. The league adds up all of a club's profits and losses over 3 seasons. If total losses exceed £105 million, the club faces penalties. This is important. PSR does not punish clubs for having debt. It punishes clubs for losing too much money beyond the allowed limit. Debt and losses are 2 different things. This is why Newcastle United, despite being backed by Saudi billions, still cannot spend freely. They hit the PSR loss ceiling, and Everton was deducted a total of 8 points across 2 penalties during the 2023-24 season for exceeding that £105 million loss limit. In England, the rules look backward at what you have already lost. Spain's La Liga uses a completely different system called the squad cost limit. Instead of looking backward at 3 years of losses, La Liga looks forward. It calculates how much a club can spend based on projected revenue for the upcoming season. A club proposes its budget. La Liga takes the projected revenue, subtracts non-squad expenses and debt repayments. Whatever remains becomes the squad budget. That is the maximum a club can spend on wages and transfers. This is the crucial difference. The Premier League punishes you for past losses. La Liga allocates your budget from future revenue. One looks backward, one looks forward. And this difference is what allowed Barcelona to use 3 financial strategies that no Premier League club could replicate. Strategy 1. The financial livers. By selling 25 years of future TV rights for immediate cash, Barcelona artificially boosted their current revenue. Since La Liga's system calculates spending limits based on current and projected revenue, that cash injection instantly raised Barcelona's allowed squad budget for that season. Strategy 2. The Nike renegotiation. According to Forbes, Barcelona struck a record deal with Nike worth an estimated 1.7 billion euros over 14 years. From 2024 to 2028, the deal adds approximately 48 million euros per season. Barcelona also received a 158 million euro signing bonus spread across the full contract. At an average of 127 million euros per year, this became the richest kit deal in football, and all of it counts as projected revenue under La Liga's system. Strategy 3. Convincing their own players to sacrifice their wages. In August 2021, according to ESPN, Gerard Piqué was the first to accept a substantial pay cut. His sacrifice allowed Barcelona to register new signings Memphis Depay and Eric Garcia with La Liga. Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba followed with similar reductions. Barcelona's own official statement confirmed these salary restructurings. According to reporting from El Nacional, the club owed these three players a combined 80 million euros in deferred wages. They essentially funded Barcelona's survival from their own pockets. But none of these strategies came without consequences. According to Barcelona's 2024-25 financial report, highlighted by the Spanish outlet Sport, the club still owes 159.1 million euros to other clubs for past transfers. That includes 41.9 million to Leeds United for Rafinha, 24.5 million to Sevilla for Jules Koundé, and 20 million to Bayern Munich for Robert Lewandowski. 3 years after signing these players, Barcelona still has not finished paying for them. And when Barcelona tried to register Dani Olmo, signed for 55 million euros in 2024, his salary pushed them over the squad cost limit. Their solution was to use an emergency injury exemption, temporarily removing an injured player's wages from the books to create just enough space. According to Football Finance Lab, Barcelona's reported La Liga squad costs were 426 million euros, later increased to 463 million in the winter window. Every euro was calculated to the edge. This financial behavior drew sharp criticism from across Europe. In November 2025, Bayern Munich's honorary president, Uli Hoeness, publicly declared, according to Goal.com, that he finds it absurd and incomprehensible that Barcelona, with over 1.3 billion euros in debt, is still playing in the top division. He called it a miracle. Bayern's own operations are financially sustainable. Their wage-to-income ratio is healthy. Yet Barcelona, operating under a different domestic system, continues to spend. The issue is not about one club being right or wrong. It is about two completely different systems producing completely different outcomes. This matters far beyond Barcelona. It exposes a fundamental truth about European football. There is no single financial rulebook. The Premier League uses PSR, which penalizes excessive losses. La Liga uses the squad cost limit, which allocates budgets from projected revenue. Serie A runs its own licensing system. France's Ligue 1 uses an independent monitoring body called the DNCG, and UEFA layers financial sustainability regulations on top of all of them. Take the same club with nearly 2 billion euros in debt. In the Premier League, that club would only face penalties if its losses exceed £105 million over 3 years. Debt alone does not trigger sanctions. But under La Liga's squad cost limit, that same club calculates its spending power from projected revenue, which could still allow new signings despite the debt. Same debt, different system, different outcome. This financial disparity is exactly why the European Super League keeps getting proposed. When different leagues enforce different financial frameworks, clubs in more flexible systems can outspend clubs in stricter systems. The only solution would be a single, unified financial framework for all of European football. But that would require La Liga, the Premier League, Serie A, and Ligue 1 to agree on shared standards. So far, they have not. And Barcelona's paradox proves why. Because someone, somewhere, is always benefiting from this complexity. Barcelona's story raises a deeper question about football governance. Should the biggest clubs be governed by the same rules as everyone else? Is Barcelona's behavior an exploitation of loose rules or strategic financial management? And if you were Joan Laporta, inheriting a club drowning in debt with fans demanding trophies, would you honestly do anything differently? Tell us your answer in the comments. And subscribe to the Football Ledger so you never miss how money truly shapes the beautiful game.